And joining me now is Elie Mystal, justice correspondent for The Nation and author of Allow Me to Retort, a Black Guy's Guide to the Constitution. Elie, my friend, you recently just did a piece in The Nation called Donald Trump Has Been Indicted, Don't Get Your Hopes Up. Before people start throwing rotten tomatoes at you, Elie, I want you to put on your criminal defense hat for Donald Trump. May not fit. And I want you to give me your elevator pitch very quickly as to why Donald Trump actually might beat this indictment.
Okay, because we're going to talk here about the fourth dimension, time, right? Catherine just laid out all the charges, I think, exactly right. But if we're talking about a campaign finance violation that is the federal crime that bumps it up from a misdemeanor to a felony, the statute of limitations on campaign finance laws is generally 5 years. If he committed a campaign finance violation, he committed that violation in 2016. 5 years gets you to 2021. Which is not the year that we're in. If he committed a tax violation, if it's criminal bookkeeping, fraudulent records to cover up a federal tax evasion charge. Tax evasion, the statute of limitations on that is 3 years. If he committed that tax evasion, let's say 2017, 2018, about the time Michael Cohen was going to jail, those 3 years gets you to 2021, which is not the year we're in. So in both situations, what you fear here, if you're thirsty for justice, as I am, what you fear is that this case is coming. It's not too little, but it might be a bit too late.
Jonathan is going, well, I'm going to ask you actually right now the follow-up, though, because I want to push back because, you know, this is kind of our give and take, Elie, that you and I have. But isn't there this idea that maybe the information wasn't obtained or was not able to be obtained by the DA's office? I mean, you and I both know Alvin Bragg had to anticipate a potential statute of limitations defense. That is a very standard legal defense that you're always going to be looking at if you're a prosecutor. So isn't it possible, though, that DA Bragg didn't get his hands on the evidence that he needed because of obstruction or because something was going on and he wasn't able to do it? And that's the reason why the statute of limitations argument is out the door for Donald Trump.
Maybe. I mean, the issue, look, there is nothing I know that Alvin Bragg doesn't know, right? And there's a bunch of stuff Alvin Bragg knows that I am not aware of, right? So give the man his flowers. But everything I'm saying is, you asked me to put the hat on, everything I'm saying is what Donald Trump's lawyers are going to say. And all of those arguments, the statute of limitations arguments, the timeliness, the fact that he, you know, to toll the statute of limitations, you have to be continuously unavailable. Bragg is going to argue that he was continuously unavailable while he was president. Donald Trump will say, I was in New York 2 weeks ago, right? Like, he's going to say that he wasn't continuously unavailable. All of that is a motion. It's a delay. It's a appeal. It goes all the way up and down the appellate system. All of that adds delay. And remember, what's Trump's actual legal strategy? To beat the charges? No, not really. He did it. I believe he did it. I believe that it's almost a matter of public record that he did it. The goal of Donald Trump's strategy is not to really beat the charges, it's to delay accountability until he can try to be president again and then recloak himself in the power of the United States government. That's always the play. And these arguments kind of allow him to push that timeline to the point where that play might be possible.
Elie, real quickly, because we're running out of time. Trump is already, true to form, lashing out at the judge, saying that acting Manhattan Supreme Court Justice Juan Merchan hates him. How could this hurt the case? And how did this judge get this case? So is this something that's done on a lottery system as in some jurisdictions, or is there any role that Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg had in this judge taking this case?
No, it's a complete lottery. Justice Marshall there's nothing on the record that shows any potential bias towards Trump or any other potential litigant. Trump is making that up, I believe, based on Trump's longstanding historical racism towards non-white people and people of color. He is casting aspersions against this man based on absolutely no evidence, and it shouldn't have an effect on the trial. But let's all remember, Trump's buddy, Roger Stone. And we know that when people act like Roger Stone, as Donald Trump is going to do, violate court orders. Again, that's another thing that can kind of cause delay if he's continuously kind of in contempt of court or not playing by the standard of rules, to say nothing of all the threats and the innuendos of violence that he's been making throughout this entire process. So again, what's the strategy here? To win? Not really. To grind the system to a halt so he can run for president again and perhaps win that election and cloak himself in power. That's everything he's doing is laser focused on that.